Hello, everybody. We're back with Deep Images. I know everyone's as excited as I am. I'm Henry Covert, and I've got a wonderful cast of characters here. There's a guy named Robert Sagetti over here, and Bill Mulligan, and our OG cast member, founder, Icy Nicholas, one of the brilliant new, what do you want to call it? New kids on the block. I know if you don't like boy bands, that's probably an insult. But, and our co host, Justin Cotton, and CF Roberts on the bottom tier. So, but never the bottom. So, we're doing Human Monsters for Halloween 2025. Our Halloween 2025 this year is going to be a bit more compact. I think it's going to be just as good, if not better, than the last two were. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Roberts. A movie to me that exemplifies this theme of human monsters. It's like an text of it. So, go Chuck.
Okay, well, I am going to talk about a little movie called Angst, or as we Americans say, Angst, and which is German for fear. And this is from 1983. Was co-written and directed by Gerald Kargl. I'm pronouncing that right. The other writer, and he was also the cinematographer, and the editor was Zbigniew Rybinski. I think that's how you pronounce it. Rybinski. But this guy, I mean, other than this film, this guy was a pioneer and a real mover and shaker in music video. And some of the stuff he did was some of the striking music videos you'll ever see. All That I Wanted by Belphegor, Midnight Mover by Accept, She Went Pop by I Am Siam, and just all of them are extraordinary to look at. You know, your mileage may vary on whichever artist or whichever piece of music it is, but just all the videos are very breakthrough and innovative in their own way. And it bears out with this film. Just the cinematography is like nothing I've ever seen. This, just for the pure visual aspect of this film, it's worth looking at. Now, I saw this some years ago. We have it on Blu-ray. Haven't watched it since that time. So I picked it up. I wanted to give myself a little refresher on it.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah, and it's on Tubi. Folks,
we don't work for Tubi. We just love it.
Yes, we're not getting paid by Tubi. Although maybe they should consider that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, my recollection, there are several different versions of this movie, I guess, or a couple of different versions. Since it's been a few years since I saw this, the one thing I didn't remember about it was a running first-person narration by the killer underneath it. And the version I saw had an intro in it where the narrator kind of goes through this character's crimes as he grew up. Yeah, the very first thing you see of him is him coming to a door, knocking on the door. A woman opens it up, and he pulls out a gun and says, "I'm shooting now," and guns are down. Like, well, at least it tells her what's going on. But
Gaspar Noé watched this one as a kid.
Yes, he did. In fact, the version that I didn't watch, but probably should have, was the version where he does an intro to it.
Now, is he narrating it? Because I don't remember the beginning. I've seen it twice. I don't remember the beginning, though.
Yeah, all I know is I may have seen a different version of it from the one, because I was kind of, while I was watching this, I just kind of said, I was kind of texting back and forth with my wife, and I said, okay, so neither one of us has seen this in a few years. Do you remember this first person narrative going on throughout? And she said no. So I'm wondering if it isn't just like an additional thing.
But it's a German and with English subtitles.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Sounds like the one I watched.
Maybe it's like the kind of thing, I don't know, like the kind of thing where there's the classic kind of theatrical version of Blade Runner where they have like the noirish dialogue or the noirish narrative and the fake happy ending, and then they have the real version, which I personally kind of prefer. Although
Yeah, me too.
the noir version has its place.
Mhm.
Um,
So this is
but
told from his point of view, if I recall correctly.
from the point of view of the killer, yes,
Okay.
the killer who goes under the name of K or is listed as quote unquote K. You never hear any kind of deep dialogue about who he is, where he comes from, what his name is, or anything. You just hear a very clinical thing about his life and his history of abusing animals, of being sexually abused by an older neighbor, and what he's gone through life doing. And he was constant trouble throughout his life. I think his mother at one point sent him off to a convent, and that didn't go well because he started killing the animals in the convent.
A
And then,
convent. Sounds like
and
Dracula.
classic serial killer stuff. You kill the animals, and that eventually end up killing the people. But at the very least, he's assaulted his mother. He's attacked his mother and tried to kill her.
Mhm.
Um, and then eventually you get the whole incident with I'm shooting now, and that ends up with 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
Very
Then
lenient.
it really
And
picks up.
so this is where the movie picks up in earnest, which is him getting out of prison, taking a taxi into town. uh, you find out through the narration that he basically pretty much straight up right out of the gate wants to start killing people. uh, Attempts to take off his bootlace and kill the taxi driver, and she throws him out of the cab. So he keeps going, runs through town, eventually comes to this cafe, and there are two girls sitting together drinking coffee, and he's very attracted to them. There's a woman waiting tables and working behind the counter, and there's an older gentleman reading newspapers. And he goes in there. He decides he's really interested in these two girls. The waitress or whoever she is in charge brings out a little plate which has a roll or a pastry of some kind and a big old bratwurst. And he starts noshing on the bratwurst. Apparently that's supposed to interest these two girls. Um, Eventually, he just kind of gives up and leaves and kind of blunders through town and eventually comes through these woods and comes to a house out by the edge of the park, and big
Rosario
like
Diodato? No.
huh
Rosario
yeah, could have been
He has a
almost,
he has a crossover with Giovanni Lombardo Radici and a distant.
yeah, yeah,
Nobody's seen that cut though.
David Hess, yeah,
Yeah, David
wrong
Hess too.
wrong house at the edge of the park. But he comes the to this big palatial house and finds his way in, and he
I hear a
kind of
cat.
skulks around and discovers that there's a family there, and it's a woman, and an elderly woman or an older woman anyway, who appears to be taking care of I'm guessing the man is her son, and he's maybe a middle-aged guy confined to a wheelchair, seems very mentally like he's not there. I
It's
don't
a
know if
victim
he's,
what just waiting to happen.
yeah,
But
disabled, waiting, disabled, possibly through an accident or maybe just mentally not there. But whatever the case, you never find out. The
that's where we needed
schedules
the
of these
narration.
people,
No I'm kidding.
huh?
I said that's where we needed the narration.
Oh well, the narration's very bare bones, kind of like the rest of the movie.
I shoot you now.
There's a little dachshund running around the house, and the dachshund, strangely enough, takes an immediate liking to him,
That's
and
pleasant.
seems to must smell that bratwurst from the cafe. And a younger daughter to this woman, and the woman and her son are upstairs. The younger daughter is kind of elsewhere. He ambushes the family, ties the younger daughter in this very strange way to where I think she's got a wrist and an ankle tied to a doorknob or something. She's hanging out the door, and he goes after the woman and her son. The beats the woman, beats the mother up, and leaves her, tries to strangle her, pretty much leaves her unconscious. And then he takes the son, and I think eventually drowns him in the tub. All the while the son is just babbling ragtime because he thinks this guy is his father. I was like, no, this guy is not your father. Then he goes back. I, the daughter is very worried about the mother and says she needs her meds. She needs to be given her meds.
Everyone in this movie needs their meds.
Everybody in the movie needs meds, and you're going to feel like you're on. You're going to feel like you need your meds,
Hell yeah.
but I have my meds going.
Yeah, me
I
too.
may not act like it right now, but
Don't watch
anyway,
Angst without your meds, people.
don't watch Angst without your meds. She convinces this guy to get her meds. He gets the meds and decides, okay. In the narration, he's rationalizing. I want this old lady to be awake, for everything I'm going to do to her, and I want the daughter to see it all before I kill her. This guy, pretty much specifies throughout the narration between the historical info and then his own narration that he is a sexual sadist. He starts shoveling all these pills down the woman's throat, and then he realizes, I think, that the daughter has gotten loose, and he takes the mother and says, okay, I gotta finish her off, and pushes her into a wall, and I think ultimately ends up killing her. Runs after the daughter, drags her down into this. This is a beautiful house, and it's got this weird outside tunnel going under the swimming pool, and he drags her down there, and basically, I think, stabs her to death. Tries to rape her, but I don't think he succeeds very well. He's very agitated at this point, and he decides, okay, well, I've got to go back and get all the bodies.
Yeah.
So he runs back and gets the drowned guy in the tub, gets the mother, piles them all up in this little tunnel under the swimming pool. And then he runs out and grabs their car and drives it over to the entrance to the tunnel, pulls them all in, throws them all in the trunk, and he's got this whole game playing in his head where he wants to take all these bodies and just continue having fun with them.
Yeah.
And he's all about that, and he's very excited about it, and he's fantasizing about it. But somewhere along the lines, the dog ends up hitching a ride with him. His little dachshund ends up going with him. And it's like, oh, you made a little doggy friend. I
Got
wouldn't
a
want to. I
sidekick.
wouldn't want to be this guy's dog.
Wouldn't either.
Just his history with animals and whatnot. He goes careening through their gate and goes hauling down the street. And there's a woman in a car stopped at a stop sign because there's a bus, or it's a school crossing and there's a crossing guard bringing kids across. He plows right into this car and everybody stops to gawk at him. And the woman who was driving the car is just like, all right, mister, you stay right here. I'm calling the police. And he's like, oh, hell with that. And he peels off, goes back into town, dog in tow, bodies in the trunk, and says, now I'm going to go back to that cafe.
He didn't think this thing out at all, man.
Oh, he's, just the classic example of like a disorganized killer.
Yeah.
Goes to this cafe he was at earlier, blunders into the cafe. All the same people are in it. It's like the two girls are sitting there at the counter. The man with the newspaper is sitting at his table. The lady behind the counter is kind of doing her food service thing. He comes in. He's thrown on this ridiculous looking long top coat. He's put on these gloves because his hands are all scratched up and bloody. He blunders in and is looking very nervous and sweaty and everything else. And he grabs, yet another plate with a bratwurst on it and is sitting there eating this bratwurst.
A very German psycho.
Yeah, wearing his gloves, eating the bratwurst and staring right at the girls as he does it. And he's just like, yeah, I've got these girls now. I'm going to end up having a lot of fun with them. And he starts thinking eventually as he's doing this, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to take all 4 of them with me. And so at this point, the dog is in the car yapping and yapping and yapping. And, really wants to know why he's still in the car and why he's not inside that nice little cafe with his new friend. Guy runs out with the remaining bratwurst, without any explanation, and starts feeding it to the dog. All the people in the cafe are really weirded out by this, and they all start gravitating outside to see what the hell this guy's doing.
Yeah, his vibe.
And that's when the cops show up, look at the wrecked car, know exactly that this is what they've been called over. And the camera is circling the car as the cops circled the car, and just this incredible circling shot of everybody in the scene as they all converge on this very nervous, weird guy in his, standing outside this stolen car, and they're just yelling, just we want to see your registration. He's like, I don't have a registration. Someone just gave me the car. Like, I don't care. I want to see the registration. And it's like, pop open the trunk. And the last shot is them popping open the trunk, and the camera pulls up and away as they're all gathering around the scene with the dead bodies in the trunk. And then you hear the narration of the psychiatrist giving his report and saying, yeah, this guy got out of prison and immediately wanted to go out and, desired to kill these people, and he did it. And he has this uncontrollable sexual sadism. And so you see, we are going to have to just put him in prison for the rest of his life, at which point credits roll as the camera pulls up and away over the rooftops of the city.
Is the early part where they go through his crimes, that's the psychoanalysis too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think the intro actually comes with the original movie, but there are 3 different versions. You play film with Gaspar Noé intro, or play film with
Gaspar Noé literally does an intro on the Blu-ray. I was just joking.
Yeah, no, yeah, there is a Gaspar Noé intro.
Where there's controversy, there is Noé.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm quite fond of Noé. I've been having a little Noé revisiting session this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, go back to this. Your thoughts on
That's it.
versions. Well, I didn't know there were multiple versions, so I feel like I've been missing out. I
Yeah,
need.
apparently there are multiple versions. The thing that took me aback was I didn't remember a narration in this. I
Yeah.
didn't remember a first person narration, and to the point where you know, asked Heather, I was like, "Do you remember this?" And she's like, "No, I don't remember it."
Hmm. I'm gonna
And
have to look that up.
so we're really puzzled.
Now, I brought up the helpful Wikipedia. So the Blu-ray is Cult Epic. So I guess they're still around and kicking barely.
Mhm.
And they gave it a limited theatrical re-release in 2015.
Yeah,
Uh,
that may be the version we have.
in France, it was on Blu-ray under the title Schizophrenia. Well, come on. Yeah, Gaspar Noé has cited it as an influence on his filmmaking style. So
I'll bet it is.
it says it also influenced, and we were speaking about horror du jour that we may or may not keep up with, and it says that this movie influenced In a Violent Nature. I wasn't disappointed in A Violent Nature because I expected nothing. I got nothing. So I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was super hyped for a few weeks there. It was like, whoa,
Yeah.
reinventing the whole slasher genre of postmodern age.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was another one. That was another one where it's just okay. People either seem to love it or hate it,
yeah,
and so
the people that love it, I think, are watching it just for the gore. And I could list like off the top of my head 20 more gory, more interesting movies they could spend their time on. Uh, but yeah, Angst. So, what is your final thoughts on this? I mean, do you feel it's style over substance? Do you feel it's powerful, saying something?
I feel I don't know, it almost kind of seems to fall into the postmodern thing where the style is the substance. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very bare bones story.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of characterization. I'll say that I think the acting, given the bare bones approach, is quite good.
Oh yeah.
He in particular is quite good, especially given the fact that he doesn't have a lot of dialogue.
And what's this guy's name? Later, Paul Later, Irwin Later,
Irwin later.
Irwin Later. Yeah. This says here that there was a 75-minute director's cut, but an
Mm-hmm.
83-minute theatrical release. So maybe the director didn't want all the
There's a lot to unpack there as far as like the different cuts, I
I
guess.
like this. What I think it is. You said the style. The substance is the style. I think it really. I think it's a capsule in time of certain kind of German filmmaking and European
Mm-hmm.
filmmaking, and it just the look of it. You know, it's got a lot of blue in it, and it's just like really
Yeah.
frenetic camera work and
Oh
incredible
yeah.
music by Klaus Schultze. I don't know if any of y'all
Yeah.
are fans of this man, but Klaus Schultze is probably
Tangerine Dream.
arguably the most acclaimed prolific electronic musician to ever come out of Germany. And that's saying a lot because there's quite a few. But yes, he was an original member of Tangerine Dream. He was an original member of Ashra Temple. He was a member of the Cosmic Jokers. And I listen to this stuff for any mood. I can find a mood for anything. I mean, he did one called Continuum. In the recent years, I saw on YouTube, and I just love to go to sleep to that. But yes,
I
that's a big plus that he did the music. So, anybody else seen this besides CF and I? Robert, any
I've
thoughts?
seen it. I remember buying it when it came out on DVD, and I was trying to remember the plot line of it. I remember there was a high body count
Yeah,
that pretty much, they just stack them up like cordwood, and that was about it. And I didn't remember if it was based on a true actual case
yeah.
uh,
Says it
or
is,
yeah.
yeah.
quote
Well, who
unquote.
knows? But German cinema, it's funny stuff. It's filled with this kind of stuff. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember getting it and watching it and going, "Well, that was all right," but I wasn't impressed. Uh, I like what's the guy Hanky. I like his stuff much more.
Michael
Mm.
Haneke.
Yeah,
I still
yeah,
haven't seen his most acclaimed and controversial movie, The Piano Teacher. Do you rate that one highly?
yeah, yeah. That's a great movie.
Yeah. Isabel
Interesting,
Huppert.
Yeah, she takes some wild risks in that one.
She's quite an
Mm.
actress, man.
Yeah,
There, but Matt Dillon
yeah.
was doing the room where they go in the Criterion room and they pick out a bunch of free Blu-rays.
Ah, right.
Mhm.
Damn it. he mentions a Hopper movie where he pronounces her name, and I'd never, even though I pronounce French pretty good, but I always just ignorantly called it Isabel Huppert. But now I know. But he also picked out a copy of Drugstore Cowboy. But I mean, it wasn't egotism. He said, "I've heard this was coming out for a while, but nobody really told me anything about it. I guess I'll check it out."
Poor Matt.
I love him, man. He's a national treasure. All right, so Angst, a worthy entry. My feeling, my if I had a summation, is that it's like good to experience it. It's fun, if you want to use that term. It's engaging. It catches your attention. It's powerful while you're watching it. Kind of humorous, unintentionally or intentionally. I'm not sure. Or maybe that's, you got to pretend it's humorous to deal with how sick it is. But then when it's over, it's not like you go, "Hey man, I saw Angst. Let's get the gang together and check it out. It's a whirlwind ride, you know." And it's not a slow burn either. I mean, it is a energetic movie. It's just, it's like you're just going to spend 90 minutes or 83 minutes or whatever with the psychotic guy with the beautiful German new wave music and cinematography, and just go along with him. But I really think he was like a bumbling serial killer.
Yeah. Well, if you're, I don't know, if you're completely sadistic curators like Heather and I are, yeah, you're definitely like, "Hey, gang, come on over."
It's not outside the realm of doing it. It's just, that's something I definitely would have done in my 20s. If I didn't hear about that movie until, wow, it wasn't one I heard in the cult movie days in the 90s and 2000. I forgot where I saw it on streaming, but only like 10 years ago. And then watched it again on another streaming a year or two ago, and I'd really forgotten a lot. But I was really swept up in it to where I wanted to buy it because I thought it belonged in my permanent library, because it makes a mark on that sub genre that I think it's worth everybody seeing. It's not like, and it doesn't go out of its way to be, offensive. It doesn't really take any moral position except that this guy's a lunatic. You know?
Yeah. It pretty much just throws it right out there.
Right. I mean, it doesn't.
These are the facts. Deal with it.
It doesn't pander. It doesn't challenge you. It just kind of, he's no Bootgerite. His movie looks a lot better than Bootgerite's movies, but still. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. Justin, you want to tell the audience what they need to do to help us keep going?
Yes, and thanks again for watching. Please remember to like the video. Please leave a comment as well to contribute your thoughts. And we'd ask you to please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. And if so minded, please do check out the movies that we're talking about. Not everyone's heard of them, but we hope this is a good intro into some great movie we're watching. Thanks.
Definitely get your friends together and check out Angst in your living room for Halloween.
And it's true that we cannot see that far behind. If we looked all the way in the past, we'd go blind. In the night, from the stars as they've all lived their lives, and the light that they gave as they burned and then died,